classmates? This is my post. I believe that people don't have a choice whether or not they get involved in a gang. Um, Pretty much because one of the best ways to identify and categorize gangs is by race, and this is from the text. Pretty much, Hispanics make up 50% of gang members, blacks make up 32%, while whites make up 10%. So it does matter if you live in an area where there is a lot of gang activity because it influences you. So, for example, pretty much if you're Hispanic, you live in a community mostly of Hispanics. It's just been that, most communities are divided by their races. It just works that way. Pretty much if you are brought up in a community where there's a lot of activity, gang activity, you're prone to, get involved with it. Um, so I believe that the statistics that support that is just the percentages behind, you know, um, people that are involved with gangs. If Hispanics make up 50% of the gangs, that just means that they're brought up in communities that are like that. Since communities are always usually divided by race, um, there has to be a correlation right there. It does seem like gang activity is more common in larger cities. They make up 86.4% of that, and while rural counties make up 14.9%. It just means that if you're from a larger city, you're more likely to. From what I've noticed, you typically gang members, well, here in Phoenix, it just seems like there's more gang activity in South Phoenix and like Maryville area. I've noticed like a few like childhood friends that you know, lived in South Phoenix, and it just seems like that's the kind of lifestyle they've led. As far as that, in order to explain, the percentage of people who get involved in gangs in areas that where there is significant gang activity, where it's lower, where there isn't that much gang activity, I feel that it's in the text says that all municipalities are susceptible to gang formation and gang related problems, so they develop spontaneously and are made up of local youths. Uh, Typically it's because these youths they struggle with school, they don't like their teachers or their peers, they suffer through negative labels, which causes them to have a poor self-image, and this causes them to kind of get drawn into the gangs. You know some people are pulled into gangs, some people are pushed. When you're pushed, when you're pulled, that means you're drawn into the gang because you see the lifestyle as attractive, and you're drawn into the whole idea of like money and all the bling behind it. It just seems attractive to you. While there's that could be the case for people that live out, in areas where there's not much gang activity. So as for the people that are stuck in areas where there is gang activity, it's like they're pushed into it because they see themselves as powerless to resist. So typically, yeah, your environment does your people are the product of their environment because they're influenced, they're socialized into it. You grew up seeing this gang activity. Socialization is what causes people to become gang members. Pretty much, if you're brought up that way, around that, you're more likely to get involved with it. While on the other hand, there's people that just get drawn to it, and those numbers are lower, I believe. Because there could be people that live in, gang areas where there's a lot of gang activity, and they just don't fall into that. They're set in their ways, but that number is usually very low. That's not very common. If you are brought up like that, you're likely to end up a gang member because of your environment or your neighborhood. It seems like they can't help it. So this is my post. Thank you.